That's a Thing Accent Core, episode 0.67. It's Monday, April the 6th, and it is week 4 of quarantine.
Yeah, week 4. The quarantine never stops. Never stops. Always forever. I'm Kevin, also known as Rayla.
Yeah, we got another executive order on the state level of saying stay home because people don't understand to stay home.
They put police tape around all the playground equipment.
Good.
But Drew, I want to go to the store and get a candy bar. Why do I gotta stay home?
Well, no, has it been 2 weeks? Are you officially, cured of the COVID?
I never had it. I just had some sort of stupid flu. But now I want to get the COVID. I hate this.
Oh, I thought you tested positive.
No,
I thought you were the... Okay.
No, we're
Here, I thought we had a, inside man to the COVID.
No.
I just want to get it done with.
Oh, me
just
too.
want to get done with.
Oh, I'd spritz that stuff right in my face. Get it over with.
Like a child with the chicken pox. Just send everybody over to catch it.
Yeah, just come on down. Okay. Yeah, like the drunk 20-something girls that had a fight in the parking lot in my apartment. They couldn't handle it. The cops were called. It was
You got to... Okay, Kevin, start from the beginning. You can't just drop that bombshell. You need to start at the beginning and tell this story.
Alright, so last week, I was playing Team Fight Tactics, and I was hearing some commotion outside. Usually, you'll hear commotion when one of the neighbors has a get-together and they're all kind of leaving. As you know how it goes. So I was like, what's this? So I cracked my windows, and you see about, 15 to 20 20-something girls just having a brawl in the parking lot. And I was like, well, that's something.
What kind of brawl? Like full on slaps and fisticuffs?
Well, about three to four of them were fighting, and the rest were just in a circle with their phones out recording it. And I just kind of looked and said, that's something. And then the police showed up. And the police were out there doing statements and whatever for about an hour or two. And then the police left. And that's the story. So I think so they've gone mad. They've gone quarantine mad. The madness set in. That's what happens.
The cabin fever.
Yeah. They went all in on that. And I'm just like,
I've yet to see anyone go quarantine mad, and I hate this. I just want to see once someone going crazy.
Well, apparently you just need to find out some of the social medias for these 15 to 20-year-old girls.
Oh, yeah,
and just check out the fight.
No, I want to be there for when someone goes crazy.
No, it's not. It wasn't a great experience because I was worried that they would break my window with their brawling, because the heater in my apartment is already broken and it can't get fixed because of the COVID, which is fun. That's a fun time I've been having.
You should have gotten the hose out and sprayed them out. Said, get off your parking lot.
Get out of my lawn. No.
Yeah.
No, it would have ended poorly. Never break up a fight. That's a rule. You can take that to the bank. Never do it. Anyway. Yeah, so my heater's broken. It will heat to a temperature, but it will not maintain a temperature. If the heater decides to maintain the temperature, it makes a horrible, loud, vibrating noise that sounds like there's a leaf blower inside where the heating unit is. It sounds real bad. but it only does that about once out of every 3 times. So when the maintenance man came to fix the toilet, it didn't do it. But whenever I want to go to sleep, it does. It's another poltergeist from the haunted painting that I have to endure.
Life is rough out there.
Yeah. What was I talking? Did I tell the podcast and you guys about how, because I did another podcast about Doom Eternal that I retweeted with Joseph Blanchett, aka Legendary Frog. We talked about Doom Eternal, but
There's some other guy on that podcast too.
yeah, one of the voice actors in his cartoons, and we were talking about that. But I was saying how the COVID has not made me anxious about the COVID, but has increased my anxiety about everything else in life. And that's not been great.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Where it's like, yo, I'm not
Yeah, like, I'm not worried about getting it. I'm just worried about, someone stabbed me over the last can of beans in the store.
Yeah.
Run out of food.
I was.
Yeah, it's every time I go to the store, I don't know what's going to be in stock and what's going to be gone.
It's always, it's still, the toilet paper's still there. You still have people being idiots. Where I saw like this kind of fat guy with full surgical mask and gloves, and then he reached underneath his surgical mask to scratch his nose while wearing gloves. I'm like, oh, you're an idiot. I was like, good job. You're doing it. You're a champion.
Okay, do you want a topic off of the COVID, or do you want to keep on quarantine discussion?
No, we're in quarantine. We'll flow in and out as it goes. If you run out of things to blabber, then go nuts.
I got
Okay.
one topic of discussion is, how much would it cost to make that Bubble Boy suit from the movie Bubble Boy?
Couple $100.
One Jake Gyllenhaal.
Best work.
I have to
Jake Gyllenhaal's best work?
Yes.
I never saw Bubble Boy. That was not one
He
of
came
the.
on Comedy Central pretty regularly.
I guess I missed it, or I wasn't watching it, or I was watching an old episode of Ed, Edd and Eddy on Cartoon Network, because that's usually what I was doing.
I don't know. That's a hard question. He's been in nothing great. He is such a middle-of-the-road actor.
I just don't know actors and celebrities that are not Nicholas.
Can I just say Spider-Man 2? Tobey is a great Jake Gyllenhaal substitute.
I think I need a new microphone.
I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay.
Um.
Well, I wanted to do a segue, like you're talking about, like you saw the fat guy scratch his nose through his, under his face mask.
Yeah.
And it made me think about, like, one of the older guys I work with in the library was telling me about the Shoney's Challenge.
Tell me the
You ever heard
stories.
of the Shoney's Challenge, Kevin?
I have not. I need to know.
So you go to a Shoney's buffet,
Yeah.
and you wait until a really big guy goes up to bat, and you get in line behind him, and everything he gets on his plate, you get on your plate.
Ooh, that's dangerous. Oh, that's real dangerous. You're gonna be eating a lot of eggs. I think people don't understand how eggs are way more than they appear.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you think, yeah, I can eat, like, a lasagna-sized thing of eggs? No, you cannot.
That's a lot of eggs.
That's a lot of eggs. Eggs are very, very small. Oh, boy. I like the Shoney's challenge.
Yeah, so that is not what I think of every time I go by a Shoney's.
Dang. Man, that'll be something to... No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm too old. I was gonna say, yeah, I can try, and then I'm like, no, I'm 30. I'm 30 plus. I can't eat like that anymore.
You can eat like that one last time.
No, oh Lord, it's not worth it. It ain't.
And see, you even have a handicap where you at least get to skip over whatever glutinous materials the guy might get.
Yeah, it's just I hate it. Like it's still that part of my brain where I think I'm not 30 something. I think I'm still 23. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And it's like, no, you can't. Yeah, you think you could do that, old man, when you have to take your fiber supplement because you can't get enough fiber because of your no gluten. Yeah, you're a real cool guy there. I'm like, oh. But I need it to stay regular.
Oh. Yeah, thankfully I do not have to take fiber supplements.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it makes sense why I have to.
Yeah.
But I don't like it. They're fine. They kind of taste like chalky sweet tarts. Which, you know, it's okay. It could be worse. I usually eat one after dinner. See, this is the kind of stuff we deal with. It's just kind of you're having a lot of time to think about yourself, and I can't handle it.
Self-reflection is all quarantine is good for.
Yeah, and it's I think the things I'm learning about myself, or you think in quarantine, or at least I think in quarantine, that I'm going to use this free time effectively, and I don't, and not even don't effectively. Things I could be catching up on animes, but no, that's apparently too much effort. Where I will sit down and watch nothing. I'll just be like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of animal videos on YouTube.
Yeah, I like that. It's preview season for the new Magic the Gathering set, so content is now flourished. I'm thrilled about it. At Korea,
I kind of like Mutate.
the more I'm thinking about it, I think I think I was a bit too pessimistic.
Yeah.
At the beginning. I think there are some things, mainly because there are depending on what mutates or what stuff you give mutate to.
Yeah.
There's some good baselines. I was thinking about doing a video where I talk about creatures I think make good mutate fodder, and there are a few.
It's like all those white creatures that have double strike, but they're like 1/2s.
Oh yeah. Spoiler, one of my top ones is Healer Hawk from Ravnica. It's a 1/1 for 1 white that's flying and lifelink. And you put...
Yeah.
Those are 2 good keywords, and you put a 6/6 trampler on top of that, and you got something going on there.
You just put a 3/4 on top of that.
You could put... And there's things like the Ajani's Pridemate, which gets a 1/1 token every time it deals damage. So you got that. I mean, there's stuff. There's some nasty things. I'm not going to give away all the video secrets.
Because it kind of also just takes a lot of early game creatures and turns them into mid to late game creatures too.
Yeah. It's also, what it seems like is it's going to be a wedge set, which is 3 colors. So you're going to have, hopefully they're going to throw in, like, the special lands are going to be more built for 3-color decks. Because right now you'd have to shell out for shock lands. And that's, if you want to build a 3-color deck, you got to get 12 rare lands. And that always hurts when you're having to craft a deck and have to spend 12 cards on just lands. Especially that some of the shock lands they're rotating out, so it's kind of like, oh.
I guess if they just put like the uncommon Alara triple lands in, where it's like they come into play tapped, but it's all 3 colors.
The enchantments, I mean the artifact cycle. I mean the artifact is 3 mana for an artifact that can tap for 1 of 3 colors, and it also has cycling. Because cycling's a big thing in this set. Cycling's back. So you got some business going on there. Yeah, I think Ikoria is going to be good. I thought the trailer was really cringy. I don't like this idea of cringy Magic the Gathering trailers. It just...
Kevin, I don't think it's cringy. If I think it's cringy, I'll just go back and watch that Ravnica trailer and...
That War of the Spark one is the most cringy. Like, I'll be real.
Exactly.
Nothing...
Anything compared to the War of the Spark?
Oh.
It's fine. It's tasteful. It's well done.
It wasn't that cringy. It didn't make me... You have a point, because it did not make me audibly start laughing when I saw... That Ravnica trailer made me lose it, and I started laughing. Whereas this one, I went kind of like, eh.
God, that Ravnica trailer, it's like you hear the piano and you're like, wait a second, I know this. What is this?
And then
it hits you.
And then I'm laughing just thinking about it.
I know, it's such a terrible trailer. And the bad part is, their audience loves it.
Their audience loved it. Keep in mind, the War of the Spark novels, once again, were so bad that Wizards of the Coast had to cancel the novels for Theros because they said we need standards in place. And Magic the Gathering story is not a high bar. But they had to go, no, we had to shut it down.
That's something.
I think that's impressive. That's astounding. You had the bar was so low, and you just had to completely.
You tripped over the bar.
And I read excerpts of that thing, and it was, oh boy. Was
it like NASCAR bad?
What?
Was it like NASCAR Heroes bad?
It was like Avengers Age of Ultron, but the quip parts. And everyone was doing quips. You'd have like 3 characters, and they'd all be Joss Whedon quip machine. No, not that's their characters. You'd have character quipping at character B who would quip, and then character C would quip and chime in, and you'd be like, what is this? It's not a character. That's just a snarky response. But yeah. So I'm excited for that. I started playing Animal Crossing. Oh.
I was going to ask, what color do you think Ghidorah is going to be?
Oh, he's already been announced. It's
they've already shown him?
Yeah.
Because I've seen Godzilla and Mothra, but I didn't actually bother to Google for Ghidorah.
Yeah, let me... I believe...
I was thinking he's going to be black-red.
He was 3 colors, as you would expect.
Okay, that's appropriate.
I think he was black, red, green. But I need
can
to look.
imagine that.
Need to look. Here, I'm looking. I'm looking. I'm pulling it up. Pulling up old Ghidorah. Where are you? Yeah, he is green, blue, red.
Green, blue, red. Interesting.
Yeah. That makes sense. Makes sense. I would have given him I think you give him blue red because that's lightning, and then I think you actually give him white. No, white doesn't.
No, I don't give him white.
Maybe black.
Like I can agree with I think he needs to be green.
Just because the kind of evolve-y kind of nature of Ghidorah, the Hydra.
Yeah. And just like the Hydra bit too, but also to me Ghidorah's a slightly different answer
to Godzilla. It's also cool how Ghidorah is a 6'6", but Godzilla is a 7'3" with an ability that technically makes him a 7'7". So Godzilla is stronger than Ghidorah. I like that. Even though there's a couple Godzillas. I think there's 2 or 3. Yeah. One of the Godzillas is an 1111. No Jet Jaguar as of late, though. So. I know. I have hope, but not much. I would. That's what we want. Apparently, Legends of Runeterra is going to be coming out at the end of the month with a new expansion. I just fell off of that game so hard. So hard. It's not bad, it's just there's not enough cards. And once you oh.
You just need more cards. How many cards is too much cards though?
I mean, so ideally in a card game, you want to have, because card games are different. There's different kind of levels, I would say, when you're playing a card game. There's level 1 where everyone kind of has a random assortment of cards, or a semi-random assortment of cards. Everyone's decks are not optimal, but they're all somewhat even. Usually, it's you got a starter deck and a couple booster packs or something, and you kind of mashed them all up and tried to make something work. That's where it's fun. And then there's the second level where you have enough cards for one good deck, and then you're kind of, you can't play with the level 1s anymore. And then the level 3 is you have so many cards you can start making bad decks again that are trying to do something in addition to the good deck. And Runeterra's issue was that you kind of, at least the base set was so limiting that I felt like I had a decent decks, and the bad ones were not interesting enough to craft. In Magic, you can get a bad deck, an objectively bad deck, but it does something weird and interesting, so the one time it works, you feel really good about yourself. Or in Runeterra, it didn't quite work like that. Or it was pretty much, it's in a Hearthstone sort of way. The good deck will always win. The better constructed deck will always win. Whereas sometimes you get a good matchup in old Magic, and when that happens, it's a delight.
Okay. I might have asked you this before. Is Tepid any good though?
Tepid seems good.
Kevin won't play it because it's not on the computer.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play it because it's not on the computer. Also, I tried.
Only?
Yeah. And also, I try not to have more than one card game going at a time, because it really, it was rough when I was. That was also a reason when I was playing Runeterra and Magic, because if you're trying to do the free to play thing, you're having to play each of those card games for an hour or two a day, and that's like 4 hours of card games, and that's too much. So right now I'm just playing Magic, and then I was like, that's pretty good. Unless you want to spend money. If you want to spend money, you can do too. But I don't spend money on card games. Don't like it.
That's the right way to play.
It's mainly so there's no sunk cost fallacy. So when the card game gets bad or boring, I don't go, well, I gotta keep playing because I put money in it. It was nice. I was just able to stop playing Runeterra when I was sick of it, and I didn't lose any money. And I enjoyed my time when I played it, so I won.
That's just weird to me because, like, you'll buy a video game and then once you're beating it, you never return to it.
Yeah.
And so I don't understand how, like, I mean, you put way more time into your card games than you have, like, Doom Eternal.
Oh, yeah. But the thing...
So you could realistically throw $60 at Magic the Gathering at this point, Kevin, and still come out ahead from where you normally are.
But no, I don't need to. Because I'm already playing it.
Think about how many Shocklands you could get for $60.
Oh, I can't fall down. The problem is, and this is something I know about myself, where if I spend $60 on Doom Eternal and I finish Doom Eternal cannot suck any more money out of me. If I put $60 into Magic Arena, then the next time I'll spend $60. The money will continue to flow out, and I can't do that. I know myself. It'll get bad.
I don't know. How bad can it really get, Kevin?
Oh, it could get real bad. It could be I could be buying gold to get the Gemeralds to buy those stupid pet puppets that sit on the side of your board that are awful, and I'm just like, yeah, I got them. I spent it. I got this dumb
you could have
puppet.
You'd have the full set.
Ugh. I had this weird interpolation on all of my cards. I spent all the money for it. And then my cards got nerfed. Oh well. I can't. I refuse. It's also a part of me likes the game of feeling smugly superior for quote-unquote gaming the system of ha ha ha. I haven't spent money on you, card game. You've been giving me things for free. That feels good.
Oh no, you're pulling a hustle on them.
Yeah, that's the hustle. The constant hustle against Wizards of the Coast. I've defeated them every day.
I tricked you, ha ha ha.
I play your stupid game every day. I've done it.
Okay, I didn't realize the Godzilla cards were just variants of other cards.
Yep. Legally, they're just the other card. It's just they have a Godzilla skin on them. So, which this means that we could. However, this means that the door is open, so we can have more crossovers that are standard legal. So maybe, I mean, I want some other stuff in there. I want Duel Masters. Give me Duel Masters, Magic. Do it.
I mean, yeah, they put a Nicol Bolas in Duel Masters, so just put a Duel Master into Magic the Gathering. I think it's only fair.
It is. They already own it. Do it. They've already put My Little Pony in there on one of the joke sets.
Oh no, I want Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Oh, that'd be sick.
I want a Dark Magician variant. I want a Blue Eyes White Dragon variant.
Oh, that'd be
I want the stupid ones from GX.
Yeah.
Oh,
Elemental
Hero
Hero Burst
Man.
Tenatrix. Get in there.
I want Crystal Mammoth Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yeah.
Ojama Delta Hurricane.
Yeah, Ojama
Yeah.
King. The Ojama's in there. Oh, that'd be sick. That'd be sick. I'd be so in. Give me some Seb McKinnon Summon Skull. It looked dope.
Yeah.
It looked dope as hell.
Time Wizard.
Yeah. Oh, I like it. So what have you guys been up to? I just kind of talked about Magic the Gathering in quarantine. That's what I've been up to.
I watched a lot of Bucky the Grappler, and I came to the realization that, I'm not actually enjoying this, so I stopped watching it.
How far did you get?
The old-looking guy just got dropped off at the amusement park and was about to go in.
Yeah. You're still where it's okay. I think Baki, and I like Baki, but it is stupid. My biggest issue with Baki is Ippo is better. If you want the fighting, Ippo is just better.
My issue is that, like, no one's dying. If you're on the good guy team, you're apparently immune to death.
That is also a problem. It's that Mortal Kombat. I think we said it on the Twitter. It's the Mortal Kombat where you're seeing Sonya Blade get shot with like 20 guns in the face, and then she stands up at the end of the round and goes, "Good job, soldier," and walks off, and you're just like, what?
Yeah, like
You're even like a couple of minutes to a part where, someone dies, and then they just retcon it.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He got his hand cut off, and then they just put it back on.
Yep.
But after he got his hand cut off, he jabbed his bone spear right into the dude's like face. He's like,
And
ha!
he says lines like, "Oh wow, this might make punching better." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. He's gonna have no hand for a while." Nope.
No,
That's back on.
See, that's what I thought. I never made it to he has his hand back. I don't understand why the kung fu guy got to live after getting piano wired around the neck.
Did you ever got to the one where the guy gets his like a grenade thrown in his face and he just walks it off?
I don't understand why the old guy who was like 100 years old or whatever, and then after he loses, he rapidly ages to his actual age instead of his physical appearance. I don't understand why he didn't just get killed by the Yakuza teenager.
Yeah.
I don't understand how these fight to the deaths apparently forget the death part.
I think only one of the convicts actually dies.
Yeah, one of them. No, two. Two of them do. I think. I'm 90% sure Baki the Grappler's dad just kills one of them. Straight up.
I know he kills one.
And the old guy dies. Because he gets beat and turns old, and then he dies.
He's like on a life support machine. We'll assume he dies then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That is my biggest problem.
I think the disguised sniper Russian man with like the switchblade in his arm gets shot. He just gets.
No, he gets shot. Then he gets his face crushed in. Then he gets cut with his arms cut off, and then he goes blind.
Yeah.
But he'll be back.
Yeah, with robo eyes. it's I like Baki because it's stupid, but it's stupid. I think it's because there's so much stupid that it started to wear on me around 2/3 through. It was around the time when we had the diversion where the black guy who is seemingly invincible shows up and he gets shot with a shotgun and then eats a steak to walk it off. And I was like, okay. And then
it's just like the level of violence and gore, and then everyone gets to walk away anyway, just makes the whole thing feel flaccid.
JoJo's does that to an extent, but JoJo's also has superpowers, so
and people die in that.
Yeah. It does. Your stand might be something, but you got hit in that dump truck, that garbage truck, and the door closed.
Yeah.
You don't just get to show up again. That ambulance ran over your head, Yosakage Kira.
It is like every so often the text would just pop up and say Iggy has died or Avdol has died.
Yeah. Not Polnareff. He's a champion.
No, what if
he makes it
gets taken away, or he dies, but he shows up like 2 chapters later with robot arms?
I mean, that'd be okay.
That's it.
No, it wouldn't.
No, I'm sorry. He has surgically his new hand surgically put on, and they're better than his old hands and allow him to do new techniques or some shit.
No, that's worse.
He also has a new super stand.
Yeah. His stand evolved into ultra stand.
By cutting off his arms, his stand got super arms.
Yeah. It's like the winged guardian of Ra, where you give it your life force. So then you're just an eyeball.
Joey won that duel.
He did win that duel. Just because Kaiba's a bitch. He just said, He slowed down the animation. He's like, please, slow down his attack. Slow it even harder. He already declared attack. Technically, you win once you've declared attack.
Yep.
You don't have to stay conscious through the... It's like, oh, well, he attacked. He could have responded. No.
Well, hold on a second. First of all, Joey's constantly cheating, so it's fair.
Joey's not cheating. He's just lucky.
Yep.
Yugi is cheating.
Yugi.
No, he has no idea what's in his deck, and he just pulled out his time wizard.
See,
Magical crap happens.
That's fair.
No, are you going to say that a system designed by Seto Kaiba is somehow favoring Joey Wheeler?
No.
Yes.
No. No, Seto Kaiba... The whole point of it was supposed to freak people out so they wouldn't know how to handle it, or they'd be distracted by the hologram, so then Seto would be able just to... They'd misplay. That was the whole point of the holograms.
It's elaborate, expensive cheating.
It's the same as the dark technique of using all foils on your Magic the Gathering cards and then angling the cards so that the foil kind of hits your opponent's eyes so they blink and they don't notice when you tap or untap a land. That's a dark technique. That's the caterpillar of Magic the Gathering.
I also like the magic technique of having all of your super expensive cards and then no card sleeves and then bridging them to shuffle so your opponent is just in complete disgust going into the match.
Yeah. You're just ripping up that blue eyes. You don't get it.
Deck can only have 3. I don't need this 4th one.
No one gets it. Man, Yu-Gi-Oh! I like Yu-Gi-Oh. I like it. We've already talked about
I
Yu-Gi-Oh.
saw someone did a fan comic of Yugi and Joey got on the wrong boat, and it was the one in Kaiji.
Yeah, that was great. Yugi would destroy Kaiji. I saw that first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! before Duel Monster. It would not end well for anyone in that show. You would be destroyed.
For sure.
Be like, oh, that's what you think you're doing. Oh, you think you're trying to give me a debt? How about you go to hell? It's like, what? I'm going to take away one of your senses for every hand you lose in poker. What do you mean senses? Exactly. You can't smell anymore. Oh.
You want to double or nothing and wager your sense of taste too?
Hope you don't get sight. It's going to be really difficult.
It's going to be really bad when you lose and are sent to the Shadow Realm.
All right, Wasizu, here's the game.
Buzz,
You're going to keep pouring vodka, and I'm going to light you on fire.
And it'll get to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, the Shadow Realm.
We're going to have these buzz saws coming at our ankles, and whenever it touches you, it'll send you to the Shadow Realm.
Exactly. I like that better than just killing you, honestly.
We're playing on a glass ceiling, and whenever your life points at 0, it'll explode, and you'll fall and go through a portal to the Shadow Realm.
That one, I think, makes more sense.
Now I'm thinking about it. Didn't Keiji get sent to the Shadow Realm, essentially?
Who? Oh. I thought you were talking, I thought you said KC is in, Kaiba Corp. I thought you meant, did Kaiba? Yeah, it's like, Kaiba, part of Kaiba got banished to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah.
No, what if the Shadow Realm is just you working in those mines? You gotta dig up those cards for Kaiba.
Yeah, you gotta go to ancient Egypt, where Maximilian Pegasus discovered children's card game. God, I love Yu-Gi-Oh!
Down in those mines, digging them up.
It's just, I love anything where the stupid card game is more important than anything else in the show. Where the president has to be subservient to the Duel Masters champion. I love it.
Where the Navy calls off its strike because 3 duelists are en route to deal with the problem.
I love that so much. That's the world I want to live in. Where it's like, oh,
especially
shit.
Since all of their decks are terrible garbage.
Oh yeah. Yugi's only works because he's using shadow magic to draw to affect his draw.
Yep.
Yo, that deck is garbage. That deck is hot garbage.
Yes, it is.
Why are you running Celtic Guardian in your deck? Not even obnoxious Celtic Guardian, just regular.
God, the Yu-Gi-Oh card naming scheme is the worst. Why would you ever name a card obnoxious Celtic Guardian?
I don't know. I still like that they named all the demons. They changed the word demon to skull. It gives a really nice flavor.
And so, you mean how it should be summon demon instead of summon skull?
Yeah. And
wait, so does that mean it's demon servant?
Yes. And
that makes more sense.
And it's demon archfiend or whatever, but it's skull archfiend sounds cool. Red eyes, black demon, whatever it was. It was demon skull, demon dragon, whatever.
Red eyes, black skull dragon.
Yeah. Black demon dragon. Black skull dragon. You're like, oh.
That does make everything sound better.
Because it makes it sound more unique.
Yeah.
Because the summoned skull obviously is a demon. But the fact that it's called a skull makes you think like, oh, is this some kind of... It's a type of demon?
Yeah, it's something. And there's just so many parts of a Yu-Gi-Oh card that for the longest time did not matter.
Like the type and the element and all of that.
The attribute.
Yeah. Those only...
And they're just giving it random to things. It's like they didn't have a scheme as to why certain cards were certain attributes.
That card game was effectively unplayable for the first 4 to 5, maybe even 6 sets, where everything that was not... I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh's biggest issue, it has the hardest of, if you are not ultra secret rare or whatever, your card is trash. Commons are trash.
No, because even then, like, there are cards like, what was it? What was the one rare card Rex Raptor had? The Serpent, the Night Serpent or whatever? That's like a 7-star vanilla creature that's a 2300 attack.
Yeah. There was stuff like whatever fusions in Yu-Gi-Oh were worthless for roughly most of the entire... It was because polymerization was so rare.
Yeah, have to have both cards in your... Do they have to be on the field or can they be in your hand?
They can be in your hand. So you can special summon them. You just have to play the card and then basically show their two cards, and then you get a special summon the fusion.
But it's like that means you have to draw 3 cards from your deck to get one monster.
And it's...
And in a game where board wipes are aplenty.
I think it would have made more sense and been fine if polymerization was a common. If it was a common, then I get it. Because there were common fusions, but the thing to play them was secret rare. I remember. It was not... Or ultra... It was common, uncommon, rare, ultra rare, secret rare?
I have no idea.
I just remember polymerization was second from the top. It was a hard card to get. But
does it not even exist? Fusion should just be, if you had those 2 cards, you should be able to like toss them to the graveyard and summon the fusion. That's what
they did with the synchro summons and the XYZs, because those are just how fusion should have worked. Where it's just, here's these 2 monsters, sack them to get the fusion.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot more sense. It also makes the games go way faster because you actually get to play fusion cards. Oh man. I think when we were playing Yu-Gi-Oh, I just have the memory of so much chaff in Yu-Gi-Oh. There's so much chaff. I would dare say more than any other card game I've played, that Yu-Gi-Oh has so much just hot garbage, unplayable in any way.
It is, to me, the best game of Yu-Gi-Oh is when you take your box of garbage Yu-Gi-Oh cards and everyone just pulls out a chunk and that's the deck they have to play with.
Yeah, I get that.
Because suddenly you have a 2800 3-sacrifice monster. It is suddenly business time with that.
There's so many dead end rituals in Magic that were so restrictive, and the payout was effectively nothing.
Yeah.
Where you'd be like, if you have these 3 random monsters, your opponent loses 200 health. It's like, what?
It had no sense of skill at all.
It wasn't even...
cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually just suck.
They were... Yeah.
All the cards where it's like, flip a coin and this will happen if you win. And it's like, if you win flip 3 coins. If they're all heads, deal 500 damage to your opponent.
It's like, why? This creature just does it.
Yeah.
It's just 500 attack unblockable. It just...
God, the novels that are in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Creature text box.
But
How did they fit so many words in that box?
And they mean nothing. It's like 4 paragraphs, and what the card is saying is you can equip this to another card to give it 200 attack.
The first person to realize what Spirit Reaper did must have been a genius.
Well, it's because Spirit Reaper has God. It was indestructible unless you targeted it, but when it also attacked and did damage, it would do something. It would discard a card.
Discard a card at random from your opponent's hand.
Also, the power creep in Yu-Gi-Oh! Was super real. Realer than anything.
Every set, cards got better.
So even the chaff was like, okay, here's the new below 4-star monster that's 1900 attack. It's like, oh, here's the new one.
It's a 4-star monster that's 2100 attack.
But it has a downside. And then the next set is 22,000, no downside.
Yeah. That sad realization when you find out Summon Skull is a better card than Dark Magician.
Yeah, I felt smart because I discovered that early, and I traded away my Dark Magician for 2 Summon Skulls, so I had a playset of them. I'm like, why would I play? Some kid was like, yo, I'm like, okay, I'll trade you this Dark Magician for 2 Summon Skulls. He's like, okay. I'm like, idiot.
See, then you should have just turned it into Seto Kaiba, Kevin, and every time you won, you just tore up your opponent's Summon Skull.
Because Summon Skull, if memory serves, was just a rare. It was not like a super rare. I was like, oh, this card's great.
Yeah, just in like the Yugi box set, so you can just spend $10 to get a guaranteed Summon Skull.
Exactly. I think I was the idiot who bought the Yugi box set instead of the Kaiba one. Because I was like, yo, Yugi's cool, and I like the Dark Magician. Dark Magician's cool. Has so many synergy cards.
Yeah, after 5 years of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, they realized Dark Magician sucks, boss. I guess we should do something about this.
Yo, remember how they gave him Skilled Dark Magician, who's just better in every way? And then you can, at some point, after you cast 3 spells, transform him into Dark Magician, but that requires a deck downgrade because one of your cards is Dark Magician.
Yeah, Magician is like a 1900 4-star card, so
yeah.
You can just come out, and then after 3 magic cards happen, you can just sack him for a Dark Magician.
Yeah, but
And then you can play Knight's title and sacrifice your Dark Magician for Dark Magician Knight.
Dark Magician Knight. Good lord.
I played that card once.
Look at this Dark Magician Knight. It's so hard to do. It's so... All it does is it's...
No, the real hard one is like you getting Flame Swordsman on the field.
Oh, yeah.
Which is already a fusion. And then you can fuse Dark Magician and Flame Swordsman into like another card.
Is it Dark Magician, Dark Flame? Dark Flare
Dark Flame
Knight?
Magician might be right. Dark, maybe. There was
Yeah,
also
it's Dark
Magician
Flare Knight.
of the Chaos. Is it like Magician of the Chaos Flame or something?
It's Dark Flare Knight.
That was
Dark
original.
Magician plus Dark Flame Swordsman any damage to the controller of this card becomes What?
So, okay, you just can't take damage.
Yeah. So you can't, and whenever it dies, you get a Mirage Knight from your deck or hand. Mirage Knight's pretty good. Even though, but it can't be, oh lord, this text!
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a game where they had to make cards to solve super specific narrative plot holes. And then a card would be born.
Okay, so Mirage Knight can only be summoned when Dark Flare Knight dies. So you have to have Mirage Knight in your deck, and it's just garbage until Dark Flare Knight dies. And all it does is that if it attacks a monster, it increases its attack by the monster's attack. So
it effectively, okay.
It'll always hit for 2,800 damage. However, after it attacks, you exile Mirage Knight. So you better hope that was lethal. Otherwise, it's just over.
Yeah. What's the really cool ritual summon magician?
Is it Dark Magician, Black Chaos?
Black Chaos Magician?
I don't know. I'm looking it up. We're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Now. Magician of Black Chaos. You have to use the Black Magic Ritual. What's the Black Magic Ritual?
That's just the ritual summon card. You have to play that card and sacrifice creatures whose star values equals whatever his star value
it's 8
is.
or more.
And then you can summon him from your ritual deck.
Yeah. That's somewhat... But even then, you're doing that, and it's only 2,800 attack.
Yeah.
It's not as much as a Blue Eyes White Dragon. You could summon... A Blue Eyes is just 2 creatures. The Black Magic Ritual is a ritual card and at least 2, possibly more creatures. Because it's 8 stars.
Yeah. It sucks pretty bad.
And then you had just... Oh, there you go.
Rituals, I think, was their attempt at correcting polymerization. But then they screwed that up too, because instead of making like just one standard ritual card, they're like, well, obviously, all of these ritual monsters are going to need their own rituals.
Because they're going to be so good. And then it's like, no. Yo, you remember the first card, the first Ultra banned card? Chaos Emperor Dragon?
Yeah.
Yo, that card was stupid.
I thought he got banned, after Yata-Garusto.
Yeah, Yata-Garuso got banned because Yata-Garuso ended games real fast.
Just whoever got a Yato on the field first just won, didn't they?
Yeah, because that thing made, whenever it dealt damage, you couldn't draw any more cards. So you'd play Regeki to kill everything, and then you'd play Yata-Garasu, and then you'd attack them, and that's the end of the game.
Oh, so dumb.
What was the other one? It was Chaos Emperor Dragon. It was a Chaos Luster Soldier?
Black Luster Soldier's one. But then I think that's the ritual version, and so I think they made another version later to help power him up.
Yeah.
Nolan, do you want to get in on this Yu-Gi-Oh action? I think Nolan made the right choice and left.
Yeah, I think he bailed. I'm trying to figure out what Black Luster Soldier Envoy at the beginning did. Alright.
Oh, God, that's a card name. Yep, I remember that one now.
Oh, Lord. Okay, yeah, Blackluster Soldier was not as strong as the Chaos Emperor Dragon. Chaos Emperor Dragon just was able to black hole everything besides itself at any time. And also, so once that thing hit the field, you could pay 3,000 life to kill everything on the field and in your opponent's hand. But also your so you just play it and say everything goes away. Blackluster Soldier merely was able, once per turn, it could either banish anything on the field face up or attack twice.
Like, there's obviously not playtesters for Yu-Gi-Oh!
I think there is, but their decks are like, there's like 3 decks, and then the rest they just put hot garbage that's unplayable. I think that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Playtest is they take the top 1% or the top tourney deck, and then they try to balance around it for another one. Like I like what I'm trying. Okay, what I'm trying to say is I think all the secret rares and the highest rarity cards are all balanced against each other. But everything else, and their supporting cast, so the Blackluster Soldier is balanced around the Chaos Emperor Dragon, and those two are sort of dealt with because they're similar kind of deck, and then everything else is whatever. Not as good. God, Yu-Gi-Oh! What's a current Yu-Gi-Oh! Card? I want to see like what that's before we end the podcast. I'm going to look at a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card.
Okay.
Drew,
Am I just filling?
Yeah, Phil, while I'm looking up, I want to see, like, I'm looking at it. I want to find a new card from the new set.
Okay. So let me tell you all about my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. A nice little something called Dice Jar.
I hate Dice Jar.
Yeah! So Dice Jar is a flip effect monster, so you play it face down in attack mode. If that was legal. Some say it is, but that's only Duelist Kingdom rules. So whenever it flips, you and your opponent both roll a die, and whoever rolls a higher number deals that much damage times 100 to their opponent. Unless you roll a 6. In which case you get to deal 6,000 damage to your opponent. And let me tell you about a little deck that thought it could, and it was hot garbage going against, I don't even know, some kind of weird, I don't think they were pendulum monsters, but they were like 3,000 defense monsters, and they did damage with their defense instead of their attack. But I had successfully dealt 2,000 damage at the start of that game. And things were looking bleak for me until Dice Jar happened. How are we doing, Kevin?
All right, I'm trying to find something that was... Oh Lord, this is nuts. Okay, so I'm looking at the forbidden cards, right? So this is a card that was newly forbidden. It's Destro, the Lost Dragon's Frisian. It's a level 7 Dark Dragon tuner monster. That's important, because that means it can be synchronized summoned into really the good stuff. This is what the text of the card says. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you may pay half your life points, then target one level 6 or lower monster you control. Special summon this card. If you do, the card's level is reduced by the targeted monster. Or also place this card on the bottom of your deck if it leaves the field. You can only use once per turn. So what that means is special summon a fusion thing, for no cost. You just get to slap it out and then slap out another card. Another one that was recently banned is another tuner, so another synchronized summon that just says, if this card is in your graveyard, you can discard one card from your deck to just summon it. You can just do it. Apparently Fiber Jar is banned. Anyway, a lot of synchro monsters are banned.
I don't know, Destrudo's kind of weird because, like, he can't naturally get to your graveyard. You have to, like, discard him there or get him, like, milled there.
Well, which is why the other one was the glow-up bulb. So you had the bulb that you can just discard the top card of your deck, and if that's Destro or whatever, he just gets to come onto the field. So the glow-up bulb, if it's dead, gets to discard the top card of its deck to come onto the field. If you discard Destro, you get to bring him onto the field, and then fuse Destro in the bulb until probably like a level 7 fusion monster, and you probably do that like turn 2. So that's why it's super strong. Oh man, Substitute got killed. The frog deck.
Yeah. Good. You remember how they had negate attack, and then they decided that card wasn't good enough, so they then made Scrap Iron Scarecrow?
Yeah.
So it's every time you would negate attack, instead of, okay, well, that card's dead now, it just returned face down on your field.
Apparently, Monster Reborn is now only limited. Oh, the Exodia cards are now limited. Anyway, that's enough Yu-Gi-Oh talk. Let's get out of here.
Yep. Later days.
Later days. Bye. I gotta actually close the thing. Okay, bye.